Sure you know by now, I'm Robson Green, the actor who likes to dabble in a spot of fishing. In fact, for over 30 years, I was quite happy just fishing for salmon and trout on the tranquil rivers of the northeast.
But a couple of years ago, that all changed.
Over 2 series of extreme fishing, my eyes have been open to some of the most mind-blowing fishing on the planet.
Oh my God! Look at this creature!
I've had the lows.
Fucking no!
And I've had the highs. And quite frankly, I'm addicted.
Where is why we came here? Look at that fish!
Now I'm back for more. Much more.
Yes! It's time for the Extreme Fishing World Tour!
I'm going to be spending the next 4 out of 5 months on the road.
Yes! We did it!
Travelling over 60,000 miles
To 14 different countries
on 4 different continents.
Yes! And he's in!
This is angling heaven. All in the most extreme conditions imaginable. I'll be chucking a hook into 9 different seas and oceans. Meeting all kinds of crazy fishermen.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
And risking life and limb. All in pursuit of the scariest,
Oh my goodness! Yes!
weirdest,
I have always wanted to catch one of these!
most powerful fish on the planet.
This is the longest I have ever had to fight a fish.
Yes! It's my biggest ever challenge.
Bastard fucking fish!
Oh yes.
We got a fish on! Yes! We got him! This is Extreme Fishing!
Over the last few weeks on my world tour, I've been fishing in the clear blue waters of the Caribbean.
Now I know why every angler in the world talks about this species.
The slippery grey waters of the Far East.
Oh!
And the untouched waters of West Africa.
I gotcha! Learfish! Barracuda!
40 pound of just sheer power. But now I'm going to exotic, colourful India. Just like its landscape of mountains, rainforest and beaches, India is oozing with variety. It's a feast for the senses and an amazing country for adventure. Oh, and it's also home to some of the world's biggest fish. I can't wait to discover what treats lie in store for me. 2 flights and 8 hours from the UK is the city of Kochi, a fishing mecca on India's southwest coast. With just 3% of India's 1.1 billion people in the state of Kerala, these wild backwaters should be a haven of peace and quiet. Oh, pants. But next morning, thank goodness, I'm in the historic port of Old Kochi, where it's a bit less hectic. Kochi is one of the best preserved medieval towns in the world, and today I'm going back in time. These giant fishing nets called chinavala were invented hundreds of years ago and remain in constant use today in Kochi's harbour. And showing me the ropes are 2 old hands. Yossi?
Yes.
Robson.
Robson.
Yeah. Benjamin, pleasure to meet you. Yeah. I see you've already caught some fish. What on earth is this?
River frog.
A river frogfish?
Frogfish.
May I pick it up?
Yeah.
It's okay to pick up? I've never seen one of those before. It's a frogfish.
Yeah. Very good taste.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that give it its name?
Yes.
Croaks like a frog.
Yeah.
You can't eat this, no? You can eat.
Eating.
It's very good.
Yes, very good eating.
You think?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Well, I hope it doesn't taste like it looks, Yossi.
No problem.
Nice.
Very good.
Yeah, I have a... Oh, that's got a nasty spike on it. The massive wooden frames are held up with hundreds of meters of rope and counterweighted by giant stones. As the fishermen pull the ropes, the the beams pivot in the middle and the net is lowered into the water. It's an intricate yet simple piece of ancient engineering.
It's a beautiful design. How old is this construction?
14th century.
14th century. Yeah, 14th century.
They probably wouldn't pass any modern-day health and safety regulations, but these structures are so magnificent, I can't resist taking a closer look.
That's pretty high. I have a thing called vertigo. I'm scared of heights. But that's safe, yes? What a superb system. George Stephenson would have been proud of this. Let's have a relax. We'll just be nonchalant for the tourists. I know you wanted me to fall in. Tough. Very good.
Very good.
Well done. It's the only time I'm doing that. I'm all right. Don't worry about me. I'm all right. Yeah.
Now that the net's down, what can we catch?
This time in the morning, what's the best fish we could catch?
Silverfish.
Silverfish like a sardine. Mullet.
Tigerfish. Catfish.
Ejala. Right, time to pull it back up. Yeah, what does it mean, Ejala? Means
Rhythm.
rhythm. A rhythm. I got rhythm. The fishermen work in teams of 6, hauling up the nets after a few minutes in the water. Whatever happens to be passing by is destined for the curry pots of the locals. But what have I got? There's small fish, listen, man. There's a lot of them. They're calcium fish. There are dozens of small fish. It may not look like a massive catch, but these nets are pulled up as many as 300 times a day. So that adds up to a lot of fish. I know it's not a very big sardine, but it's curry for 2 of us, so me and Yossi can eat. We need to get more for the team to eat, yeah? And then we'll sell them at the market. Let's see if we can catch some more. A few more pulls brings a selection of other things. A mini turbot, another frogfish, prawns, and a local fish I don't recognise. Goodness gracious, like a baby oarfish. What is this called?
Bombili.
Bombili. All right. My first bombili.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't take that much strength. It's a great team effort. They teach me ages-old fishing skills. How am I going to get the fish from here? Please help me. And I give skincare advice. Bit of moisturiser would sort that out. Once Yossi and Benjamin are happy with our catch, it's time to sell it. Sardine, you want to buy some fish? But this is a tough crowd. Give me 200 rupees, you can have my fish. Yeah? 200 rupees is £2.50. Yes! Yes! That's 20 rupees. 25p. Your name's not Del Boy, is it? And that's between 7 people. I will compensate you, yeah? There you go. You take the fish for 20 rupees. I'll give you the rest. I've clearly got a lot to learn about selling fish in this country. Luckily, it's an early finish, because I've got a meeting. Must be a big budget. Late on transport. To the theatre, please. The theatre? Yes. Thank you. As you may know, I'm not just a globe-trotting fisherman, but a man of the stage and screen. And tonight I've been invited to star in a show. I think it's the first time they've had someone from England perform in the Kathakali. Yes, of course. So I'm very privileged. Yeah. I'm very honoured. This is Kathakali, a classical form of dance and drama, in which there's a lot of dressing up, jewellery, and makeup. It's a musical! It's a performing dance. Okay, I can do that. I've done a bit of singing in my time. Yeah. Yes. Oh, and it's an all-male cast. Backstage, I meet Sajinder. My name is Robson. Are you the director?
No, I am a promoting manager of the company.
You're the promotion manager? Yes. Okay, so I'm playing the fisherman?
Yeah, you are a fisher girl. Fish.
Did he just say girl? I'm a female fish?
Yes.
Ah. What kind of fish am I?
Any kind of fish.
I can play many fish, like a barracuda.
No barracuda.
Not a barracuda.
Very small kind of fish. It is
Voilà.
for you some kind of movements and everything.
So it's more slow moving. So I should play like a bottom feeder.
Yes.
Right. I'm playing a female bottom feeder. This just gets better and better.
I like to put the Kerala traditional.
But first, it's rehearsals. And the outfit for that is slightly more basic. Gobi, the director, tells me Kathakali is all about exaggerated hand and facial gestures. I call it extreme overacting. So, of course, I'm rubbish. But I've got to learn quick. The audience already coming in, and it's traditional for them to watch performers being made up.
I'll wake up in a minute because I'm sure I was involved in a fishing show. Oh my giddy aunt! I feel like Julian Clary.
With just minutes to go, there's a few healthy nerves. But I'm a pro, as I explained to Sajinder.
Let me tell you, Suji, there are a lot of emotions flowing through my body right now.
Yes.
They're quite confusing sometimes, but looks good. Oh, dear.
Yes.
The fish is here.
Yes, yes.
The fish is here.
It's time. But in front of a packed house, will I be able to pull off the most challenging role of my career? I'm at one with my character, and I feel the performance is a triumph. But the audience aren't exactly in raptures. I'm not hanging round for an encore.
Nice working with you. I'm not going back on.
Time for a quick exit.
Well, I can't sleep. Not after that performance. I didn't even look like a fucking fish, let alone a female fish. What part of me looked like a fish?
Now I'm heading inland along the Kerala backwaters to Alapi. It's a 2-hour journey and it's time to take stock.
Really surprised actually having arrived in India. I thought it would be far more chaotic. I think it would be in Delhi, but not around the south, especially in Kerala and Cochin. It's really peaceful and colourful and beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
But I'm not here to relax. I'm here to catch the helicopter catfish, a huge, aggressive, almost mystical beast in these parts that's even been blamed for eating children. And the man I'm pinning all my hopes on to help me pull in my first Indian monster is local guide Paulos.
Thank you. Thank you. Robson. This is my angling accommodation for the next 2 days?
So very much.
Looks beautiful. Thank you.
Paulos has recommended an expedition on his luxury converted rice barge. It's full service, with cooks and cleaners. All I have to do is catch fish for dinner.
You know there are fish in these waters?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah.
There are a lot of fish.
But I'm not sure the level of equipment augurs well.
Well then, Paulos, I've used some small rods in my time, but this has to be the smallest.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you need a giant rod for a giant catfish?
How long do you usually have to wait, Paulos, before we get a bite? Sometimes quick, sometimes a long time?
Long time. So we'll pray that you come quick.
We'll pray. I was hoping that we'd, rely on your skills and understanding of the waters rather than seek divine intervention, Paulos.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Help us to catch
Oh, help us to catch
a bigger catfish.
bigger catfish. Because we need the ratings.
It's a long, long wait.
Nothing bites. And with this kit, I don't think anything's going to. 7 hours pass, and sure enough, no catfish.
Hello?
What you got there? But all is not lost. It's the Indian version of supermarket home delivery.
I have seen some prawns in my time, but not on that size. What next? Extraordinary size.
And how many you got there?
My goodness, you got a boatload.
I'll buy a kilo off you. Fabulous! And that's the closest I get to a fish all day. I'm beginning to think Paulos doesn't know as much about catching giant catfish as he's led us to believe.
Okay.
What with this fishing failure and last night's theatrical fiasco, my self-esteem's at an all-time low.
Right, Paulos, I'm off to reclaim my masculinity. When I get back, I expect big catfish on that table. Right, I'm off for a fight.
Kalaripiatu is a martial art and one of the oldest fighting systems in the world, and has been used to settle disputes in Kerala for centuries. I've been invited to join in. It looks a bit scary to me. And I'm not so sure about the feet touching. While I'm busy taking out my frustration, Paulos should be hauling in giant catfish for dinner.
Oh dear. Wooden sword's kaput.
What a shame. I think I had him there. So instead I decide to settle the dispute health and safety style.
Paper, scissor, stone. You win.
Damn. Still, at least I've worked up an appetite. So what monsters has Paulos managed to catch in my absence?
Wow. Look at that. Oh, I see we have the prawns I bought off that fisherman today. Paulos, please don't tell me they're the fish. Paulos, please don't tell me they're the fish. They're not catfish. They're sardines. These catfish. Paulos, they're not catfish. The carrot's bigger than the fish. Oh, Paulos.
It's one of the most awkward dinner dates I've ever had. Oh dear. Surely my look's gotta change soon. Hasn't it? Tomorrow's another day, and Paulos deserves a second chance, so the following morning we abandon our catfish hunt and decide to go for another Indian monster, the snakehead. It's a fish that grows to nearly 5 feet long and has been known to attack grown men. Oh great. To find the snakehead, it's a 2-hour journey upriver to a spot that Paulos has recommended. And there are some baby versions caught here recently to get me in the mood.
I got to be very, very careful handling this, because this is part fish, part snake. Okay. I have to hold it this tight because I'm very aggressive. There you have it. This is the snakehead, also known as the giant snakehead, but this is a baby. Why is it called the snakehead? Obvious. Body snake-like, and head looks like a snake. And this fella here, that is one serious set of gnashers.
So we're all set for a great day, until Paulos drops a snakehead-shaped bombshell in my lap.
Why is the River Pumba a good area for snakehead?
Snakehead will have to go.
Now, why is this a good area for snakehead? Oh, we're not fishing for snakehead here.
No.
What? Of course we are. What are we fishing for here then, Paulos? We said snakeheads.
You're trying for snakehead.
Yes.
The River Pumba is not a good area for snakehead.
I was trying for
We've been travelling for 2 hours to this area for snakehead, but there's been a slight misunderstanding, as you can hear the director now arguing with Paulos, and there's no snakehead here.
Hey! Answer. I'm agree.
Patience, Robson. Patience. We head further upriver to a place that Paulos thinks could be promising.
And I sincerely hope he's right this time.
Paulos,
Yes, sir.
this is our final chance.
This is our final chance.
You've got to catch me a fish, Paulos. Reputations are at stake. We'll catch, eh?
Sure.
Come on then. Alright, Paulos, what we got there, is that the bait we're after?
Yes.
Unfortunately for Kermit lovers, this is the bait they use round here, whether I approve or not.
And you're going to put that poor little frog on the end of the hook?
No.
You don't feel sorry for the frog?
No.
Okay, let's get him on.
But this is what we need to have a chance of getting our target, apparently.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. Alright.
You should jump, then only you'll catch.
Yeah? Guaranteed a fish. I have to say, there's a lot of fish showing. This is a good spot, Paulos. Good cast, Paulos. That deserved a snakehead, that cast.
But it's me that hooks in first.
Might be in a small. Whatever it is.
Ironically, it's not a snakehead, but a baby version of a species I spent 8 hours trying to catch yesterday.
It's a yellow catfish. Would you believe it?
Isn't that the most stunning coloured fish you've ever seen?
And that's why they're called a catfish. Because of the little whiskers. And there the resemblance ends. What a beautiful fish. And they grow up to 15-20 pounds in here. So let's get your mum and dad.
But once again, the hours pass. So far, I've learned 3 things about Indian fish. They're extremely small, they don't like being caught, and they're fiendishly clever.
Good grief. The little fish have scavenged here, yes? You sure there's not piranhas in here, Paulos?
And one last kick in the teeth. Even the crows are doing better than I am.
There he goes.
Look at that! Wow!
A crow that fishes. A kingfishing crow.
It doesn't make sense.
He's the best fisherman here, Paulos.
Today has been another fishing disaster. If there are giant snakehead in here, they're not biting. This trip is over. I've had enough tiddlers for one location. It's time to take drastic action and get out of here.
And there comes a point in fishing where size does matter. So I'm going to get some rest. Because tomorrow I'm off to the Maldives. And I know there are seriously big fish out there.
Next morning, I take an hour's flight out of the fishing oblivion that has been India to the Maldives. I go via the capital Male in a seaplane and then by boat to Bar Atoll, surrounded by reefs, fish and snogging couples.
I'm the only one here who's not on their honeymoon.
I know.
Good enough for going fishing, otherwise I think I like it.
Boy, am I glad to arrive.
Oh, damn. What a dump.
At last, things are looking up. I'm swimming in a fishgotek. This place is swarming with life. And just a few hundred yards from my front door, in a lagoon called Hanafaru, is some of the most incredible sea life I've ever seen. They're manta rays, dozens of them. Every year at this time, these giants come to the Maldives to feed on the plentiful plankton. Most of them are more than 20 feet across. There are very few places on Earth where you can witness such a spectacle.
That has to be one of the most mind-blowing sights I've ever seen. It's like they're showing off. It's like, look at me. Look how graceful and beautiful I am. And how insignificant
the little Geordie fisherman. Stunning creatures. Mouths this big. You feel like you're going to be swallowed. It's like the marine equivalent of the Starship Enterprise.
And then an even more incredible appearance as a huge whale shark cruises through. At nearly 30 feet and weighing at least 10 tons, it's a majestic creature. This has got to be a good omen.
That's made my day. I love the Maldives.
Surely I can catch some fish here. That evening, I've been invited to the hotel bar to meet the fisherman who's convinced he can turn my fortunes around. And no, he's not one of the zombies. He's the bloke with one eye, and he wants to dance with me. How could I refuse? His name is Atif, and he's clearly not your average fisherman.
I'm fishing with him tomorrow. If he's fishing as good as he's drumming, we're in for a bumper day.
Marlin, sailfish, and dorado are all within easy reach. We have all the equipment, we have the boat, and guess what? We're not going. With 20 feet swells and high winds off the coast, we're cancelling. Apparently the weather's only like this 1 week a year, and aren't I lucky? It's that sodding week.
We are buggered today. Really buggered. Starting to rain again.
It's 6 in the morning, and suddenly I've got a lot of free time on my hands. So the director sets up some things to do of a cultural nature.
Alright, this is an example of a coral house.
Yes.
See the house made of coral. It's nearly 30 years old.
Fascinating.
Try your hand at the local craft skills.
Well, may as well make yourself useful.
Get in the groove with the local beats. Meet Atif's mum and dad.
And you brought up 8 children. What can I just say? You both look very well on it.
Well, that killed 20 minutes. But clearly more emergency measures are needed. To save this nightmare, I've made a dash to the Maldivian capital Male, one of the most densely populated places on Earth, with 130,000 people crowded into 1 square mile. I've managed to line up another fishing trip for tomorrow. But time's running out to catch big fish, so later that night, in my hotel room, there's a crisis summit.
Have you seen that show, Extreme Fishing with Robson Green? What, that fella who says f*** a lot? Aye, that's the one. Well, apparently he's in the Maldives. Oh, I like the Maldives, really sunny and... No, it's not sunny. It's pissing down. And apparently, if he doesn't catch tomorrow, I think his job's on the line. Really? So what can we do to wish him good luck for his fishing adventure in the Maldives tomorrow? Shall we do the whooshy dance and wish him good luck for his fishing trip tomorrow? Okay, go on then. 2, 3, 4.
In case that doesn't quite do it, I've also hired the best fishing boat I can find.
We are going to throw everything at those predators in the ocean.
The boat's owner guides fishing trips throughout the hundreds of islands or atolls that make up the Maldives. His name's Mark Cornell.
G'day, Robson.
And he's Australian.
Morning. That is some vehicle.
Not bad, is it?
How are you, Mark?
Good to meet you.
Now then, be honest. How much sleep have you had?
I've had a couple of hours, Robson. Enough for a good day's fishing.
No, why you just had a couple of hours?
Oh, I was a little bit worried about today, but...
You nervous like me?
Yeah.
Do you know why I think we're nervous, Mark? It's because the pressure's on. I tell you what, come here. Everyone in the Maldivian atolls shout only one man guaranteed to catch us a big fish today.
Is he here?
Is he here? They all say the name. Mark Cornwall, they're saying.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, he's the one who catches a big fish today.
I'll do my best, Robson.
Though the weather still looks dodgy, with a purpose-built fishing boat like this and all the best kit, I won't be able to blame my equipment this time. And it's great to be back on the waves.
You know, I hope today's just the end of one of those great fishing stories. You know, you've been fishing for days on end to no avail. Everything's been against you, and then you triumph over the adversity. I really hope it's a good fishing story. Otherwise, I'm off to the loony bin. I really am. They'll put me in a straitjacket, I'm telling you.
The plan was to go deep-sea fishing, but last-minute reports of huge waves outside the atolls forces us to stay nearer the reef.
So this is the jigging rod. This is the jigging lure. The idea is you put the lure over the reef and then you retrieve with a jigging action. You sort of dance and the rod's doing this all the time.
The weather's leading us a merry old dance. It's getting worse by the second.
But with this method, what are we likely to catch? A bass? Bass? Any snapper?
Snapper, a GT, dog-tooth tuna, groper.
Let's see, get the old grouper. Are the fish showing on the sounder?
No fish whatsoever. Time to move on.
Let's try a bit of trolling. See if we can get ourselves a big billfish. Come on.
Let's do it.
The hours pass, and we try every technique we can think of.
We tried jigging, we tried trawling, now for a bit of popping. We're throwing everything at them today. What is this, sailfish? Just fin sticking out of the water here. What have we got there? Come on, come closer. That's it. Yes, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. He's going for it, he's going for it. There's a few of them there. Are they gone?
But the near misses keep on coming.
I think they've buggered off, haven't they?
All day we are simply teased by the seas. And the weather gets worse and worse.
Oh, you know.
This is alright until you got here.
I'm to blame. That one you might be right. This is extreme fishing, Mark.
Doesn't get much more extreme than this.
But finally, our sheer determination pays off. I'm in!
Something big here, guys. Yeah. Something big. He's running, and we've got full tension on. He's going to go on the reef. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Your lure. Now.
Whatever it is has gone down into the reef to hide. That means it isn't necessarily a monster fish. And I need a hand.
The fish taking the reef. That's what the small fish do. It was not a big fish. I thought, oh wait, there's something big in the rod, man. That's probably a grouper. It's taken the line and gone back into the reef.
But thanks to Deckhand Ali, we're back in the game.
It's not come up that big a fight, but it's a fish. It's a fish in the Maldives. Now, you thought this weather would beat me, but it's not gonna. Oh, he's running. Oh, he's running. Grouper.
It's not a big one, but after 9 hours fishing, it'll do for me.
So happy. I really am so happy. That long dorsal fin, beautifully coloured caudal tail, and it's a beautiful tasting fish, and we're going to keep it.
Okay, it's not an extreme fish, but it has been an extreme day. So extreme, in fact, that our main camera promptly dies.
The Maldives killed it. It is no more. It is an X-camera. If it was alive, it would be pushing up the daisy. Well, we're going to carry on, because this is extreme fishing. This is extreme fishing.
We're cursed. We're cursed!
Because of the weather, I've yet to experience the bounty that I know is out there. But at least Atif, the local fishing legend whose trip was cancelled due to bad weather the other day, is able to go out this morning.
Hi guys, morning! Morning!
I am worried about our chances, but one look at these fellas fills me with confidence.
I'll take your orders for dinner. What would people like for dinner tonight? Would you like snapper or garupa? Would you like small, medium or large? Oh, you want a large portion? Oh, come on, let's go and fish.
Because the weather's so appalling again, we can't risk going deep sea, so we're heading to Atif's favourite reef.
What happened to the clear and calm waters of the Maldives, Atif? Where's the sunshine gone? Maybe next tomorrow. Tomorrow? Yeah. Let's not go fishing today.
Just 20 minutes out to sea, and the heavens open up. Again.
This weather is not going to beat me. Atif assures me 95% that we are going to catch. Yeah. Really? Everybody smiles in the Maldives. Yeah. Even when it's raining, everyone smiles. Yeah. So why does everyone smile? Because we're going to catch a lot of fish.
This is making me delirious.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, you want to see what's coming over here. It certainly is extreme fishing out here. Oh, bloody hell.
But we're definitely not cancelling today. We're using bonito, a kind of mackerel, as bait to handline over the reef.
In Maldives, they call this method jigging, but in most parts of the world, they call it bait fishing. And that's what I think we're doing today. Right now, bait fishing. Okay, hold on the side? Yep. I tell you what, Atif, the people on their honeymoon won't be happy today, eh? Oh, well, yeah. You ain't gonna beat me, Ray. I don't care. You haven't knocked me down yet. Robson Green, Extreme Fishing 3, with no fish. Yeah! La la! What have we got? I've no idea. They're in. Hey? Come on, you bloody fish. Don't out. What is it? Yeah! What have we got there? Yeah. Bluefish! Bluefish! Yes! You see! We did it! Yeah! We did it! Yeah! I was expecting garupa and snapper, and these guys say this tastes beautiful. I'm gonna eat it! We've got them on! They're coming! At last! We've been fishing for so long! They're coming in their droves!
And come they do. In fact, they're practically leaping into the boat.
What have we got there? Look at the extraordinary coloration on that fish. Snapper! Oh, look at this snapper! No! Look at this! What a size! I've never caught a fish that's snapper that's on my life! Yes, sir!
In 30 minutes, we've caught over a dozen fish, and there's some real corkers.
But there you have! The giant red snapper of the Maldives! And what makes the snapper such a deadly predator, believe it or not, is because of its coloration. The colour red is cancelled out in the spectrum underwater, so a lot of fish can't see it coming. And obviously, a mouth and teeth like that does really help during the attack.
There's also a beautiful coral fish.
Look at the extraordinary coloration on that fish. The beautiful purples and the oranges.
And things I've never heard of, with local names like Dalumas.
My second for Lumas.
And this fabulous fish.
The Kashitumbi. And I think they nickname it the yellow lip for obvious reasons. Oh, he's running. Oh, this is bigger! Could be the biggest one of today.
But best of all is the ultimate reef predator round here.
Oh, look at this! Yes, what a size! Oh, what is that? A mule. Mule? Yeah. Mule? Yeah. Yeah, Dick. Well done!
These large Gyulu hunt up to 600 feet down, crushing fish and crabs with their vicious jaws. It's the jewel in the crown.
I knew we'd do it on the show! We've called an extreme fish! The Gyulu of the Maldives! And let me tell you, what a serious predator! Apparently top dog in this area! Just designed for power and speed! Yes! I knew it! I knew as soon as I met that fella! As soon as I saw him play the drums, I knew the fishing would be good. Sorry, mate, but you're for dinner tonight. So how would you cook this? Just put in on the grill and sashimi. Yeah, it's very good tasting. Yeah? Are you enjoying? Am I enjoying? Yeah, really? Take one look at this place. Travelled all this way.
Who cares about the drenchings and days of frustration? That's all forgotten now.
What a day. What a place.
I've waited a long time on this trip to eat what I catch, but tonight I'm spoiled for choice. We've gone for the big snapper, baked with cumin, coriander, curry leaves and all sorts of other stuff I don't recognise.
It's good taste. It's beautiful taste. That's a sensational taste. What a fantastic way to end a sensational day. And a day I will never forget for the rest of my life. Thank you, friend.
It's been an emotional roller coaster this past week. In India, I explored the female fish inside me and failed to catch the big boys.
Thomas, please don't tell me they're the fish. Thomas, please don't tell me the fish.
But in the Maldives, I swam with some incredible beasts.
That has to be one of the most mind-blowing sights I've ever seen. Oh, look at this!
And finally, the fishing came spectacularly good.
What a serious predator!
And surely I'll get a tan next destination. Yes, it's Florida. The Sunshine State? It's flippin' freezing.
Well, quite frankly, I can't feel my face.
Why, hook into my holy grail
It's him, we got him!
and bite off more than I can chew.
What? Oh my lord! I couldn't need a bigger boat.